This is the All Things Nerd Podcast, Season 4, Episode 34. On tonight's cast, a big chunk, DC Fandome. So DC decided to do their own virtual event, and let's see if it's better than San Diego Comic-Con. We're going to talk about some of the news coming for Fandome, what our favorite things are. We're also going to be talking about Jensen Ackles joining a different show than Supernatural, The Boys, along with some other quick reminders, updates to stories that we talked about in the past. That and a little bit more. So stick around, enjoy the show. Here's the intro. Hello to all the Geek Enthusiasts, Nerd Aficionados. This is Mess5150 welcoming you back to another All Things Nerd podcast. We record this live every Friday at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern on Twitch, twitch.tv/Malice Corp. That's for all you fantastic people that are listening to this elsewhere or watching it on YouTube. If you're here live, thank you for joining us. Jump in the chat room. Let us know what your thoughts are as we go over this week's top nerd, geek, and pop culture headlines. If you're expecting a professional show, ain't happening. But if you're here to have a little bit of fun, then you came to the right place. So thank you guys for joining us. If you are enjoying what's going on here and you want to check out previous episodes, see some of the other stuff that we've kind of tinkered with and messed with, head over to malice-corp.com. You can see it written below. That's the website that supports everything going on with this Twitch channel and all the different projects that we work on. So yeah, so with that, we start off this little show with a thing that we call Getting Your Geek On. Getting Your Geek On is what we've been doing since you last saw us, things that we think you should be checking out because nobody has enough time in the world to do everything, and we don't want you wasting your time. So if there's something that you shouldn't check out, we won't recommend it to you. Heck, we might even tell you it's just horrible and that you need to go stay far, far away from it. But we are also looking for suggestions from you of things that we should be checking out. This is also how I introduce everybody that's here on the show. I was just editing an episode from 2 weeks ago. That's how far behind I am. And I was brought to the forefront about how ladies first I am not, because I always save the best for last, but they don't want to be considered the best. So let's go first with the ladies of the show. Aloni's on the cast. Aloni, what you been geeking out on?
Whoa. We are still the best. Thank you very much. No, so what I've been geeking out on in the last couple of weeks, which my husband and I started watching Schitt's Creek on Netflix. Oh my God. It's hysterical.
Yes.
It's hysterical. Eugene Levy and his kid Dan Levy are fucking hilarious.
Catherine O'Hara too is great.
Oh yeah, she's amazing. Because I saw a lot about it on like different BuzzFeed listicles saying this is a great show. I'm like, is it though? BuzzFeed is going on and on about it. Yeah. So I'm like, what the hell? We'll try it, and like my husband will not stop cracking up. It's hilarious. That and Lucifer season 5 just dropped on Netflix too, so I watched the first couple episodes of that.
Oh, I thought that was until next week.
Oh, don't mention that. Okay, good. My wife's out of the room. She won't know.
Okay.
If she knew, man,
we're safe.
This would just my TV next to me would be turned on with Lucifer on it right now because she'd be like, "Screw your podcast. We're watching Lucifer."
Exactly. But
she's out of the room, so she doesn't know yet.
Oh, okay. Good. Okay. No spoilers.
Have you got to the episode of Schitt's Creek with the fold the cheese yet?
Yes. Oh my God, where they're trying to make the enchiladas.
Yes. I don't know. Isn't this your recipe? Fold the cheese. If you say fold the cheese one more time, yeah. What does burning smell like?
The guy's name is line. David, and they keep saying like David. My husband's name is David, so it's bringing me a lot of fun moments.
How you say it now? You say his name's that way?
Oh yeah, David. Yep, exactly.
Okay. Also joining, you heard them. They were talking. So Super Hoovy and Freaks here on the cast. We got both the two of our fantastic females from the show. Our third, unfortunately, is not here. But Super, what have you been geeking out on?
That's funny because I actually just finished season 6. I was trying to wait for season 6 of Schitt's Creek to drop on Netflix, but I got bored. So I was like, all right. So I finally finished season 6, and it was a very satisfying final season. Hopefully, I mean, I know reunions are big and everything, so it would be great if they did like a reunion movie, because I kind of want to see how their journeys like end up with where they ended up. So that was really good. And then I'm still binge watching Rizzoli and Isles. I'm in, I want to say, season 6 now.
Mm-hmm. Sure. I don't know if
It's a good show. Yeah, I think it's season 6. But it's a great show. It's really, you should check it out if you're just looking for a fun, quirky little crime drama.
Okay, cool, awesome. Yeah, I haven't checked out Rizzoli old. I know it's an old show, so. Okay. Also joining us. It's been a long time. It's been a short time of waiting. I guess I don't know. A
long time, a short time. Make up
I don't
your
know.
damn mind.
I'm trying to go like a War and Peace. You know, there was the good, there was the bad, there was but I'm definitely not a classic 400-page book writer. 600.
The Lone Ranger is back. How about that? The Lone Ranger. There you go. The Ranger.
You called him the Raider. It's Nick.
Well,
Nick is back on the cast.
I'm coming up with some cowboy stuff, and you're out there trying to figure out War and Peace crap. Come on, man. Let's go.
Nick is back on the cast. What have you been up to? Why have we not seen you? What are you geeking out on?
My wife and I just purchased a home. We moved in about 3 weeks ago, so that's my geek out. It's not really the geek out that I want to mention on here, but that's the biggest news of my life that has happened the past few weeks. We moved into our new home 3 weeks ago. Everything is set up and everything finally. Pretty much between here and work, it's just Lowe's. So it's just been work, home, Lowe's, work, home, Lowe's. But what I have been able to do as far as nerd wise, I actually rewatched. What was Band of Brothers, one of my favorite shows from back in the day. Just was like, you know what, I want to rewatch it. It still holds up. Amazing show. If you haven't seen Band of Brothers, I highly recommend watching it. It's on HBO. It's only one season, 10 episodes, I believe. Give it a look. Great show if you haven't seen it yet. And I also, believe it or not, even though I'm a huge Godfather fan, as well as I love the movie Goodfellas and Casino, I had never seen The Sopranos. Don't know how that happened. I know when it came out, it was during a time where my dad was a cheapskate, didn't have HBO or cable. We just had regular TV growing up. And it came out when I was a freshman. So I didn't have the luxury of seeing it when it came out. But I am almost through season 1 of The Sopranos, and I'm absolutely loving it.
Nice. Yeah. I'm there with you. I haven't actually watched The Sopranos either. But HBO Max, I need to go back and watch a bunch of shows that I watched. I didn't watch Deadwood either when it was out.
I haven't seen Band of Brothers.
Me neither.
Band of Brothers, yes. I own it on DVD, actually. So excellent. I love all their...
yeah, amazing show. One of my favorites.
If you like Band of Brothers, The Pacific, which was also made by the same guys, it's World War II, but it's, the island hopping between Kwajalein and Guadalcanal.
I've seen The Pacific.
And all that.
That's a great show as well. It's not as good as Band of Brothers, but it's a good show.
Yeah, I think, and then Tom Hanks, who I think he produced both of them, did that Greyhound movie that came out also on, which I have not seen yet. Oh, yeah, I need to put that on my list.
We all love Tom Hanks. It's just Tom Hanks. Yeah, exactly.
He can do no wrong.
He can't. I mean, except when he's not the captain. We always need him to be the captain. So, sorry. Okay.
He was a good Mr. Rogers. I saw that. Last week.
Tom Hanks is great in everything.
He was even a captain in Saving Private Ryan. FYI.
Bosom buddies. I mean, he's everything's fantastic from Tom Hanks. So.
I don't know about Joe versus Volcano, but
hey, I love Joe versus Volcano, but he looks great with a nice
mullet?
curly haired wig on. Bosom buddies. Yeah, you should watch it. Check it out if you haven't seen it. That's showing the age of most of the people that are on this cast.
I've seen
it. All right. Lastly, we have our co-host Masonic Vader. What have you been geeking out on?
It's been a very light geek week as I've been recovering physically. But the good thing is I did find some stuff that's good to see. You did post it on our chat yesterday, and for all you fans of the 80s cartoons, the final piece of the, you can't call it trilogy, whatever number of cartoons came out. Thundercats is on Hulu. So I started burning through that.
Oh,
yeah, I can't wait to start watching with my son next week. But then I did get into, I got to see finally Pure Power with Jamie Foxx.
Mhm.
And I like that movie a lot. That was a very, very good movie. Won't give any spoilers. I don't know if we talked about it since it's come out. But then I do recommend, I said this before and I'm going to say it 1,000 times. I don't know how the hell they pull off, but Netflix has got the corner on docuseries, and it just came out with one on Thursday. It's called High Score, and it's the evolution of your console game. I mean, it starts off all the way from computers to Pong to Atari to all the way up to the Sega and the Nintendo Wars. It's amazing. It's 6 episodes. If you are a gamer, I mean, because that's one thing COVID's definitely done. It got me to drink Kool-Aid again, having the occasional pack of ramen because, you got to keep the cost effective. And I'm video gaming again. So High Score on Netflix, great series. Enjoy it.
Jack asked if Aloni called you a hoe because she said Lion-O's yell ho. So no, she didn't. Sorry, I got lost off his little comment there, so I missed the last little bit. But I can't watch Thundercats with my child right now because he hasn't said his first word yet, and I don't want his first word to be snarf because I will shoot myself.
Snarf. Oh, you know what? I do have the beard for snarf now, don't I? Yeah, there you go. Snarf.
is that not what they yell out though when you say
It is.
Thundercat?
It is. No, it is. I just
Okay.
love that it wasn't on the permitted list because it was the word hoe, so I had to add it to the permitted list so that you can type in a hoe. on the
Nice.
chat.
Well, you got to keep your priorities,
Oh, God. All right. Congrats to Nick. Congrats to for the house. I didn't mention that. That's awesome. So that's why we've missed you. So you got
fairly quick for Nick. You got to work on your man cave, dude. That's awfully shallow and barren. And come on, man, hook it up, buddy. Or is that the
it's
closet?
not the man cave. This is actually a kitchen nook. My man cave is not ready yet.
You do not have enough Texas shit on the walls yet, right?
Yeah, this is definitely a kitchen. This is a kitchen nook, so that's why there's not stuff on the walls.
Gotcha.
And you need to get words like kitchen nook out of your vocabulary.
Can't help it, man.
You need like live life love on somewhere on that wall.
We have tons of stuff on the wall. It's just that what you're seeing right there behind me is the living room. And I'm kind of in the corner of the kitchen.
Nick's been holding out on us. You know what he's been doing? He's been watching House Hunter Internationals and Brothers or whatever and getting all the lingo. Oh yes,
dude,
we need to fix our kitchen nook.
Those shows.
It's an open floor space.
It's a nice open concept.
We're gonna push that wall back. We're gonna expand your kitchen, and no one needs a dining room anymore. Yeah.
Welcome to All Thing Nick's new house, where Nick is going to take us on a tour. Let's go. Show us. I'm kidding.
If you seriously want to see it, then absolutely.
No.
No.
We don't have enough time.
I don't like those shows. Because I'll take a tour of my 2-bedroom apartment and just be pissed the entire time. So let's just move on.
So, my Geek Out, it's okay. I've got out of the house. All the Halloween stuff hit downtown Disney, so I've been going and shopping for what they've got in Halloween. I found the Halloween Oreos on the shelf, so I got some of those. We got the orange cream filled Oreos, so we're good there. In terms of gameplay, I went back. I don't know if anybody ever played. There was a video game series called Infamous on the PlayStation games, where you could choose to go down the path of being a good guy or a bad guy, a villain or a superhero. And the first game did really well. Second one, and then there was the third one that came out that I don't know if it did very well or not. But I'm playing the third game to pleasant surprise. It's called Second Son. The pleasant surprise is the first voice that I heard on the game was Troy Baker. Not Snarf. No, it's Troy Baker. It sounded like Troy Baker doing his Bruce Willis impression from Die Hard. It's just what the character sounds like, but it looks like Troy Baker. Then Troy Baker's character's brother in the game is, I can't remember the actor's name, but along with Troy Baker, who's in Avengers, the actor that plays Thor in the Avengers video game is his brother in this game. And then there's another character named Fetch, which is done by the voice of Laura Bailey, who is Scarlet Witch in the new Avengers game. So the new Avengers game has this powerhouse of voice actors. So does this old game. You should go check it out if you like, little fun superhero games. Yeah.
I feel like you should be allowed to play that game until you actually have your second son. You only have one right now, so you can't play it.
No, I'm playing it. I'm halfway through it already. So too bad. That's how it is. That's what I'm doing. We don't even know if we'll have a second son. So,
planting the seed already, buddy? What's going on there?
No seeds.
Well, I didn't mean it that way, but all right. Okay, go that way too. Snarf.
No, exactly. All right. That's it for Getting Your Geek On. Let's get into the big chunk of the show. That's the nerd news. Tomorrow, all day tomorrow, online.
Wait. Tomorrow? You sure it's tomorrow?
It's tomorrow.
It's all day.
Did they move it again? No, they didn't move it. Okay, because they moved some stuff. Here's the
Just make sure, because you said all day tomorrow like 5 times in a minute.
It's all day. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. All right. So Warner Brothers let everybody know that they were doing their own virtual event as opposed to being part of San Diego Comic-Con. That event was called Fandome. And for Fandome, it was going to be a 24-hour event. One time to see it. There was going to be some repeats that in that 24 hours, but you weren't going to be catching it on YouTube or anything like that. So if you didn't catch it, you didn't catch it. That was it. It was over. But the way they had set it up was you go into this virtual map. There's like this kind of octopus looking thing where you have different islands to go to and different panels at all these different islands. There was so much stuff that they had set up for this. I mean, they did a scroll of all the names that are coming to it. It was mind-blowing how much stuff was going to be part of this. So people clamored, people begged, and they asked, you need to do something. There's too much stuff. So what did they do? They split it into 2 days. Tomorrow is going to be the big day. That's really going to be the stuff that people have been waiting for since last year at Comic-Con when Warner Bros. Didn't show up. They're going to be bringing all their movie stuff. We're going to go over the schedule for tomorrow really quick and get everybody's hype ideas or what they expect to happen or hope to happen. So sound good? Did I explain that good enough?
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Everything else is what we think, and we're going to give you our responses.
Yeah.
It sounds like a new concept on this show. Sorry.
Exactly. Everything else that's part of Fandome has been pushed back to September. So you got time to really absorb the news that's going to come out tomorrow. The first panel is the one that I'm sure everybody's the most excited for. That's a Wonder Woman 1984 panel. Anything that you guys hope to get or see out of that?
Nope.
It's going to be
the
good.
less the better. I want to see in the movie theaters, but at this point, I don't want to see anything else. If you show us anything else, if you show us anything that's going to give anything away, I'll be pissed. You've done good enough. Everyone still remembers it, even though the show's been pushed back so much. The movie has. Everyone's still excited about it. You don't need to do anything. Maybe have them come and say hi and stuff and talk, but don't show us shit of the movie.
Well, they're going to. They're going to show a trailer.
On this,
you don't have to watch it. Yeah. You don't have to watch it, but they will show a trailer.
Just to put everybody into, even if you're not like into Wonder Woman, 1984 are anticipating it, at least to know Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, Kristen Wiig, and Pedro Pascal, as well as director Patty Jenkins, are going to be part of this. And it's Brazilian hosts, so it's got to be fantastic on that factor. You will get a sneak peek of the film, and it's 25 minutes long.
Cool.
Nice.
That's perfect.
The thing
All
that
it needs to be.
was I watched the trailer for the whole Fandome thing, and they, I guess, showed a couple clips from the 1984, and Chris Pine went like this, and then everybody else did this, and I'm like, that's Marvel. What the hell are they doing? Like, that's Wakanda. And I'm like, oh no, it's Wonder Woman. She does that too.
Yeah,
And
because
she did that. Yeah, she does that in the first movie. That should be a surprise.
When they asked her what her favorite, a little kid asked her, like, what's her favorite thing about Wonder Woman? And she was like, when I block bullets, my move.
Yeah, and I completely.
It's not a head dot. Remember, this is Wonder Woman. This is Wakanda.
Yeah, well, and it threw me off for like 5 minutes.
This is the position you put yourself in if you were choking and somebody needs to get the food out of your mouth.
No.
And this is what you put yourself in if you're a vampire.
But yeah, no, I'm just like, that's not a Marvel, or that's not a DC thing. That's a Marvel thing. I'm like, no, I'm an idiot. Wonder Woman does that too, to block bullets. So
oh my God, Becca, can you move your head to the other side and get to the 90s?
What?
Okay. All right. The other big one, Games Montreal is doing an announcement. I believe that is for the Suicide Squad game that takes place in Gotham, I think is what the announcement's going to be. I mean, are you guys into a Suicide Squad game?
No.
No.
Not even a little. No.
Okay.
Well, I don't know anything about it yet. I mean, be more interested to find out what type of play it would be. Like if they're trying to start to launch their own thing and maybe add to it. But I mean, right now I'm just more interested in just seeing the second movie versus a video game because whatever.
The Sandman audiobook that we talked about, it started coming out on Amazon. They are going to have a Sandman panel. So if you don't know who Sandman is and you want to get to know a little bit more about the character, Neil Gaiman, fantastic writer, wrote the Sandman books. It's claim to fame where he came from. So check that out. That'll be tomorrow as well. You have the Multiverse 101 panel. What is that? Is that for the new movies? Are they get schooled in this engaging refresher course on the creation of the multiverse with DC Chief Creative Officer, publisher Jim Lee, Warner Bros. Pictures President of DC-based film production, and Berlanti Productions. So yeah, because they're pretty much going into a multiverse with the new DC films. That's what this sounds like.
Didn't they call it something else? Because right now, when you say multiverse,
they used to call it the DC Extended Universe, but they said that is no more.
So they're just going to go off of Marvel's multi-universe then, huh?
Well, Marvel,
because that's what I get right now. Marvel's has I thought Flash's paradox or the Flash paradox is going to open up a bunch of stuff, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So you're going to have the Flashpoint that creates all the different timelines and stuff, because that's how this whole block is. You have the multiverse, which you got to believe multiverse is where you're going to introduce. Mm-hmm. Hey, Michael Keaton might be part of this panel type of thing, because we know Michael Keaton's going to be in the Flash movie, which we also know Ben Affleck is now coming back for Batfleck in the Flash movie. So we're getting the multiverse, which also has your Robert Pattinson.
Okay, you could have gone without that one. Come on.
So, and the next panel that goes right after that multiverse panel is introducing the Flash with the filmmakers Andrew Muschietti and Barbara Muschietti, as well as Ezra Miller and the screenwriter for the Flash movie. So yeah, they're setting up that DC is going straight bonkers. Everything and anything it ties in, which means, and I want Nick's opinion, this means that there's that chance that now you can get the Joker from the really deep, dark Joker that we just got this year into this into these worlds of superheroes.
Yeah, they definitely have like Joaquin Phoenix. Well, I don't know how they would work that, because
it's a multiverse. It doesn't matter.
I know. I'm just trying to think, because they're also trying to do Ben Affleck as Batman, which I would not be a fan of. Don't want him in that.
But you've got Michael Keaton as Batman to make up for that as well.
I know. Yeah. But that would be my only thing. It's like I can't do Ben Affleck as Batman again. I can't.
So you want shiny Batman then? Because shiny Batman
if
with
it's
the glass
the
bowl head
Flash
is coming up
movie,
next.
you can actually do away with anything other than the Flash, and then maybe do like a kind of like your cameo appearances with other superheroes, but make it more Flash related as far as with his story, and not bring anybody else into it, because I think that would be more appealing for me if it's just more based off of the main antagonist. And that's it.
Jack said, I'm pretty sure DC did multiverse first. They did do the multiverse first. It was because they kept writing different storylines, and then they were like, oops, everything doesn't match. Let's destroy all of them and make them work. and then you got a comic book storyline to work with that.
I don't know. I only reason why I made that point at the beginning is because Marvel's so hardcore on that at this point that everyone's so focused on, like with Doctor Strange, Ticket to the Multi-Universe, and all this stuff. You would think DC would at least try to find a way to make it slightly different, name it different. I like the fact that Flashpoint was kind of started all off, and then they can come up with something cool, but it just seems like they want to ride their coattails on it.
Yeah. Next big one, Suicide Squad panel doesn't say anything about any footage. It just says that they're going to show Task Force X. James Gunn's going to take some questions. And yeah, so would you guys want to see footage for this, knowing that it's a new one? We got new characters, and
No.
2, James Gunn's taking over.
No, I'll be surprised in the theater.
Sorry, I'm dumbfounded by the little thing there Jack put in there that he says, because I'm a Marvel fanboy. I don't know if he's ever scrolled at the top of my screen there up there, but there's a lot more DC up on the top of my thing than there was ever Marvel. Yeah. I mean, how many people have the miniature city of Kandor? All right. No, I don't want to see anything on Gunn's Suicide Squad yet. I want everything to kind of get going, get away. Let him keep working. Give us some tidbits. Give us some people interviews. Maybe show us 5 seconds of something, but don't tell us anything.
Yeah, 30 seconds maybe. 30 seconds.
I just stay away from it right now. Let everything happen. Let this COVID shit go. Let kind of like the summer. Let Wonder Woman do its thing, and then come out afterwards. Don't take anything away from anything else or from yourself.
Okay. You feel the same way, Aloni?
Yeah. No, I didn't even see the first Suicide Squad, but I heard it was hot garbage.
Are we not surprised?
Oh,
Don't. Yeah, just don't.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. I never planned on it.
It's awful.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's why.
Actually, I just watched it today. It's not a bad movie. Shut your mouth.
The last person who told me that they thought it was a great movie couldn't spell well right. They spelled it with an H. So if that tells you anything about people who like that movie, they don't have basic spelling skills.
I just said that it's a good movie, and you're starting. Really? Really? Damn, it's gonna be that night, huh?
Red Meatpod joins us in the chat room as well. Says the only good part of DC is Wonder Woman, but then she was corrected that Aquaman was pretty good. She's not a fan of Ezra Miller, apparently. Wishes Ezra didn't go over to the Shia LaBeouf spelling club of craziness.
Yeah, no one knows how to spell LaBeouf. LaBeouf.
I don't know. Okay. I think I mean, nothing screams DC like Chris Daughtry doing a performance.
I didn't even know Chris Daughtry was still a thing.
He's performing something at this.
I mean, I never kept up with him after he won whatever show he was on.
Oh, that's what it is. Chris Daughtry, recording
Right?
artist and huge DC super fan and comic artist. He's a comic artist. Wait a minute.
Oh, that's
Chris
cool.
Daughtry's drawing comic books now?
Oh, that's cool.
He's delivering a solo acoustic performance of Waiting for Superman, a song inspired by the Man of Steel himself.
I mean, he had a good voice, so I mean, it can't be that bad.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked that this is what's what's part of this thing.
Yeah.
You've
When
got
you're virtual, man, you can throw anything in there.
Yeah. A lot of different Joker put on a happy face, Jim Lee, portfolio review, surprise DC Comics panel. We got I'm Batman, the voices behind the cowl. So different Batman voices, actors. Okay, I'll get to it finally. Snyder Cut of Justice League panel.
You didn't talk about Shazam. How dare you?
I haven't got this. We haven't gotten there yet.
Oh my god.
Anybody about the Snyder Cut? Come on, Vader.
It's just get it over with and just release it. I don't care anymore.
I feel like it's been a long time.
It's been a long enough time. People are bored. Just release it and let people bitch on the internet.
Okay, that's all we care about that panel.
Well, if you're asking if I'm going to watch it, I'm going to try to watch that panel. And I am excited to see the Snyder Cut. Some people might be exhausted about hearing about it, but to be perfectly frank, I'd rather see that movie versus what we got. So, and it's already done so much more to the DC universe as far as bringing Ben Affleck back and everything, that it looks like it's starting to mend stuff and trying to put things back together. So, yeah.
All right. Then I'm just going to rattle off these last few big ones. We got the Flash TV panel, the Black Adam panel with The Rock, Titans TV panel, Aquaman panel, Ask Harley Quinn, which is the animated Harley Quinn that's currently going. Everything's moving over to HBO Max. Wonder Woman's 80th celebration, the Shazam panel, and then the Wonder Woman cast is going to play Werewolf 1984. The new Batman movie panel, and that's it. Everything is encores after that. So, any of those, you guys?
Shazam and Black Adams should be fun.
Okay.
I'd like to see the Black Adam one. I guarantee all the Twilight fans will be watching that Batman panel.
I'm going to be watching that Batman panel because I'm really interested. Jim Lee put out some artwork of the new Batman outfit for the movie, and it still looks phenomenal. So I'm curious, and I think it'll be better than we're
I think so too.
crap we're giving it. So that's DC Fandome. It's tomorrow. It's all day. If you miss stuff, there will be encores on the same 24 hours, but it's not. It's only that one time that they're playing it. They're not going to be able to watch it on YouTube later. So let's move on to the next news.
Stupid.
Let's let somebody else get their opinions out. Let us know how the world of geekdom is doing, because Jensen Ackles, who is known for Supernatural. Supernatural's over. They're actually just started filming the last episode of the series, and it's been announced that Jensen Ackles will be joining the Amazon series The Boys as Soldier Boy for season 3, and the world has gone nuts and crazy, at least from Supernatural fans. But what do you guys think about Jensen joining The Boys?
Waiting for Super. Go for it.
No, I'll go last. Go ahead.
Okay.
I think it's cool they're bringing in a Captain America kind of character. That's where I look at it. They've got like the Justice League, and now their first outside character is going to be a Captain America kind of like knockoff, which is pretty sweet. So
yeah, the parody. I mean, well, the whole show is just a parody on superheroes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And he's playing the original. He's not playing, because there's 2 Soldier Boys, and he's playing the original one.
Mm-hmm. Super Hoovian's going to give us the history. Elle, you got any thoughts?
Yeah, no, Jensen Ackles, I think, is a really good fit. I mean, he just has that chiseled jawline that looks perfect for any sort of romanticized World War II soldier that, goes in and saves the day. So I think he's funny. The only thing I really know him from is Supernatural, but that's been taking over his life for the past 15 years. So maybe for him to show us what else, show me what you got.
He's done so much else. You should watch the movie 10-Inch Hero. It's a really good movie where he plays like a punk with a mohawk working in a sandwich shop. It's where he met his wife.
10 inches or something else 10-inch?
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord.
No.
So I'm just going to sit back and let it go about how the fans have reacted to Jensen Ackles joining The Boys.
Most Supernatural fans are fine with it. We're all adults, right? Most of us adults, we understand adult content. However, for those of you, don't join this sect of the fandom if you're a fan of Supernatural, but you got these little teeny boppers out there, little teenagers that, social justice warriors, and I'm going to police and I'm going to educate a 42-year-old man on what roles to pick. You've got these little teenage wankers out there that are just bitch, and they literally kept it trending that he's taking on a problematic role. You've got people that are like signing petitions out there to try to get him to not take on this role because of the fact that it's a bloody show and it's adult content and it's problematic in today's world. It's fiction. It's absolute fiction. This show is a parody of what superheroes are, and who are you to come in and tell a grown man what role to pick and what role not to pick because it offends you. You know what you do? You don't watch the show. You like him? Hey, he's got 10 other shows that he did before Supernatural. Go watch that. Go watch Dawson's Creek. Go watch Dark Angel. Go watch 10-Inch Hero. Go watch My Bloody Valentine. Oh, I'm sorry, that has blood in it. You can't handle that. It's adult content. So you can't handle all of that, then just don't watch. You're going to start petitions online to tell a grown man, and he's made no secret at conventions, panels, everything about Eric Kripke, about how much he loves Eric Kripke, about how much he loves the show The Boys. I mean, he raves about it all the time. Of course he's going to join this cast. It was a no-brainer. I didn't think it would come quite this soon because I didn't know they were already plotting and casting for season 3. But, it's like, come on, dude. Like, just what is the problem with teenagers out there that feel the need to say, it offends me, so you can't do it? If you're offended, don't watch. Get the fuck out. Go. We don't need you. It's just all week long. All week long I've been dealing with that bull crap.
And usually you have to pay points for the rant like that. Yeah, I mean, how soon do you think it'll die away once Supernatural's actually over and the show starts? By the way, I gotta say, bloody show, I always thought of that just as television until I had a baby, and then I learned what the other coined phrase of the bloody show is, and now that's all I think of. Thanks, Super. Now I'm thinking about that when we're talking about The Boys.
And it is. The Boys is very bloody. It is very dark. I mean, Supernatural had some dark themes to it, with some of the elements that they put in there, but it was on a light level, because on the CW you can only get away.
Exactly, it's on CW. Yeah. If Supernatural was on Amazon, it would have been. I think Kripke would have. Yeah. Yeah,
because Jensen talked about it at a convention because he was like, the first time I watched The Boys, he was like, oh yeah, Kripke wanted to do that on Supernatural. Got told no. Oh yeah, he wanted to decapitate someone like that. No, I mean, I'm honestly surprised in the 3rd season of Supernatural we got the shot of Jared taking the chain wire fence and lopping off. Sterling K. Brown's character's head, where he literally pulled it off and it popped off. Like, I didn't think that would ever pass the CW, family friendly, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, but he knows what it is. He doesn't need you coming in and telling him how to live his life. It's a role. It's not going to change him. He's not suddenly homophobic because he's playing a militant World War II soldier. He's not suddenly going to be this other person just because he's taken on this role. Like, grow the f up.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that's it. That's the thought about that. Last topic to talk about is a happy one. It's a good one. It's Olivia Wilde has been announced to that she's going to be, I know directing, but is it writing as well? A Sony female superhero project?
I think she might be partially writing it as well, yes. Okay.
Because she just had her first directorial debut, I think, last year. It was Booksmart, which is a comedy that was basically like a female version of the movie with McLovin. I can't freaking.
I don't know, but for all you fans of Regal movie theaters who go there all the time and show about 5 minutes before.
Superbad. Yeah. This is basically the female version of Superbad. Great movie. It's I think on Amazon, so if you can check it out. Called Booksmart. It's fantastic. She directed that. So she's going to be directing a film for Sony that is going to be female centric of a superhero. Not officially has it been designated this way, but most people are leaning towards, it sounds like she's going to do a Spider-Woman film. What do you guys think?
Well, first of all, it makes sense because I think that's the only franchise Sony has left is the Spider franchise, right?
Silver Sable. I think Silver Sable because she was attached to the Spider-Man.
That's true.
Stories at one point.
But it makes more sense to Spider-Man.
Girl. Weren't they going to make a Squirrel Girl movie? Whatever.
Squirrel Girl's not. Sony doesn't have the rights to Squirrel Girl. That's Avengers. So it has to be a Spider-Man property. Somebody attached to the Spider-Verse. So you could get Black Cat. You could get Silver Sable. You could get Spider-Woman. Everybody's leaning towards Spider-Woman. Or you could get Silk, a newer female Spider-Verse character.
Still think it should be Squirrel Girl.
Well, you write a strongly worded letter to Kevin Feige and tell him to go hire Olivia Wilde.
I will cry like Tom Holland did. I will.
What do you guys think about her doing a Spider-Verse female character for Sony? Do you think this is going to help Sony get its head out of its butt? I mean, they've done better with the Spider-Man book because they were linked to Marvel.
Because they had Marvel attached to it. Come on. Take that Marvel off, and the closest thing they got to anything was Venom, and that was even
And for those that don't know, Olivia Wilde is married to Jason Sudeikis. If you don't know who Olivia Wilde is, look her up. She was in the last Tron movie. She's been in quite a few things. So
if you went to the movie theaters for the last year and a half in Regal, and you're 5 minutes before, and then they did that Coca-Cola project, you would always hear, "Hi, this is Olivia Wilde, director of Booksmart. Please enjoy our Coca-Cola project." So there you go.
Any other thoughts? Anybody else?
I do think it's interesting. I hope that they could pull it off. Spider-Woman is a really cool character that will bring in a different side of the Spider-Verse. But that being said, I don't know. It's difficult because I think it's just far enough outside the Spider-Verse though to where it has to be entwined. Like it can't be a solo movie. It has to be there has to be something going with it. Hence the reason why I think Marvel will still have its name attached to it.
And welcome Ruru 2 into the chat room with his patented nerd.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. I thought it was exciting. I mean, it's nice to get more female directors with each week. We get more and more announced. This will be 2 weeks ago we had DaCosta announced for Nia DaCosta for Captain Marvel. Now we got Olivia Wilde doing something for Sony. Patty Jenkins is going to be back for Wonder Woman, tomorrow on her panel. So it's a nice welcoming, fresh air, new eyes, new voice to these films that we're getting. So I'd be good with Spider-Woman. Black Cat would actually be my preferred. That's my favorite character from the Spider-Verse for females. So,
that would be a good one to interject with the current situation. Yeah.
Ruru 2 says ScarJo's going to play Jessica Drew.
Nope. Can't happen.
I think that's a rumor.
Well, it just can't happen. You can't have ScarJo in two different Marvel movies.
Mm-mm.
You could.
No,
not in Marvel. Not in Marvel.
Like,
yeah.
You can't do it.
If it's attached to the Marvel universe.
What's that?
Like Chris Evans. He was Captain
America.
America.
No, not the same. It's not the exact same universe. So
it wasn't.
No, those Fantastic Four movies don't exist.
not in the MCU.
They're not part of the MCU.
Not in the MCU.
Because Tom Holland's Spider-Man is part of the MCU. That's if this character for this film isn't tied into the MCU at all, then yeah. Otherwise, you're going to be like, man, they look there's going to be jokes all the time. Like, you look like someone I know.
You know that the drummer from Nirvana looks exactly like Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters? So it could be like that type of thing.
No, it's going to be that type of thing of like, because this is what Marvel has done very well, but this is where they screwed it up. They can't do a movie now without it being part of the universe. That's it. This is how it is. So if you have ScarJo playing Black Widow, and all of a sudden she dies in Avengers, and now all of a sudden she pops up as this person in Spider-Man, come on. That's recycling actors.
Exactly.
That's not going to happen.
All right. Let's get our quick thoughts on updates to old stories. This is, stop me if you've heard this before.
Wait a minute. You ain't heard nothing yet. What is it? What is it? What is that? What is that? What is it? Tell me!
Okay, we talked about Kevin Smith is working on a Green Hornet cartoon. He let it be known, came out, that it's going to be very similar to the old Batman animated series, and that questions we had was like, how is Green Hornet going to be, for the current masses, for the new youth and stuff? Well, this version of Green Hornet is not the original Green Hornet. These are the children of Green Hornet. Kato's daughter and Green Hornet's son, I believe it is the storyline. Just quick thoughts.
You lost me.
But they're grown up, right?
Yes, it's not
Okay.
Green Hornet children.
You lost me.
Well, I mean, they did a really good comic strip out there called the Justice League 8, where this guy Yale Stewart draws them like going through their lives at school, but it's them as their little superheroes, and then they've got the Legion of Doom or whatever. It's pretty funny.
They're fully adult.
I don't know. I guess it could be cool, but then it shouldn't be called the Green Hornet. It should be called something else tying into the Green Hornet, because it's not the Green Hornet.
Green Hornet Jr. on
Yeah.
Nick Jr.
Son of Green Hornet.
Nickelodeon Jr.
Yeah,
You got any thoughts, Nick?
The only thought I have is just the nostalgia from the old Batman cartoons. But
Yeah,
as far
that's
as with
true.
the Green Lantern, I'm indifferent with this. But the old Batman cartoons, awesome.
Yeah, so it's gonna be in the
If
same
anything like
vein.
that, it would be awesome. But
that would
still,
be cool.
the premise of it is that it's a son and daughter. I'm just like,
Rurutu says, I think they needed to set it in the 60s and 70s. Retro's big now. Do a throwback to the 70s. Here's the thing. If you go back and watch the old Batman animated series, it feels like it's a 50s, like a cartoon that's based in the 50s. Like it's very retro in its style. And Kevin said it's going to fall into that mold. So we'll see. Do you have any quick thoughts, Elle, on that?
I mean, if you're going to do a throwback, I figure you can kind of, especially with something that's, superheroes, is kind of like what they did on Archer, where it's set in modern times, but it's still kind of not, but it is, but there's like some technology, but it's very vague on the time frame. So kind of timeless, or however you want to do it. Like that could be interesting. I'm not super familiar with Green Hornet. I did not see the movie. I know, big
That's
surprise.
fine. It's okay.
But,
we're just expecting it now.
So, I mean, with this new one, especially not knowing much about it going into it and watching, the kids do it. And I mean, who doesn't like Kevin Smith? So if he threw Jay and Silent Bob in there somehow too, that'd be kind of fun. But
I'm sure. Well, you know that he'll do a voice somewhere, and Jason Mewes is definitely doing a voice of somebody.
What Man in Chronic? There you go.
Yeah.
Polyfuse joins us in the chat room as well with when is retro not big? I don't know. I think it's always big because it just depends on for that generation, what portion of going back is the popular thing, because there's always a retro thing to look at for whatever the current generation is. Like right now, it's probably going to be the 80s here soon for the current generation. So
we're back in the 90s, dude.
I know. For our generation, but I mean, I'm talking about the generation that's coming up right now. The 80s is probably going to be their thing. Maybe the 90s. Yeah, I don't know. Last recap story. We talked about Fortnite last week suing Apple. Well, Apple responded by saying we're not letting you have any of the technology needed, or we're not using any of your technology, which will make it so that you can't update the Fortnite games on their systems, and also make it so the Unreal Engine won't be able to be used for a lot of people. And that's could destroy Epic Games. Quick thoughts on Apple firing back?
Well, I mean, if they didn't expect that, they're stupid. I mean, Apple and Android are both. I mean, they have no reason to not be a dick. So.
Okay, Nick, you got any thoughts?
I hope they put them out of business. I can't stand Fortnite. Game is terrible.
But I don't know why it would destroy the game. I mean, the majority
It'll
of their-
destroy the company because the company won't have anybody to use their stuff to continue upgrading and continue using their stuff because they're set onto these other platforms already.
But I
My
thought that
nephew
they were.
always asks me if I want to play Fortnite. I'm like, no, I play real video games.
Wow.
But like, I mean, how does that destroy their platforms on Xbox or PlayStation or whatever?
They don't. I'm assuming they don't get their money from as much from Xbox and PlayStation. It's mainly going to be coming from the Macs and the phones and stuff. So,
but I don't think that's the case though. I think they make a crap load of money off the PlayStations or Sony's and the Microsofts. I mean,
but it's not going to affect just Fortnite. It's going to affect all the games that you know they utilize. All those free to play games. All those games were really the companies really make their money on those little small microtransactions that continuously get bigger, and people paying $1 and $20 and $100 here and there. It just all adds up, and that's the type of style Fortnite is, and all those games that are part of phones and stuff like that. That's where the big money's made. It's not from the one-time purchase stuff, but yeah.
Well, I could tell you that they haven't slowed down on any type of advertising for Nick's favorite game. I have an 11-year-old, so I get caught up on this stuff all the time. They're already talking about season 4 and how much extra stuff they're going to be putting into it. So to me, it seems like Epic has made all these moves. Like I mentioned last week, that they feel comfortable that they could go on their own now at this point. And I'm sure they expected this kind of rebuttal from Apple, like Super said, if they didn't, they would be idiots. And they haven't really like stymied or anything like that. So it seems like they're prepared for it. Let's see if they can do it.
Yeah.
Cool. Any quick thoughts, Aloni?
I feel like there's been so much hype around Fortnite that I don't need to play it. And we got a bunch of dumb dance moves from it. So if it goes away, I would not lose any sleep. That being said, it's so goddamn popular that, what was it? Pornhub, they always put out their analytics at the end of the year, and the #1 search term that they had was Fortnite.
Wow. Yeah.
So if that tells you how popular that game is.
Those characters are. Yeah. Well, moving away from that. Okay.
It wasn't me.
That's it. Welcome, Nick, back to the show. Thank you guys for joining us. We will be back next Friday to talk more all nerd, geek, and pop culture with you on Twitch, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. Let's talk about where you can follow everybody off this cast. Aloni, she's just going to tell you to check out everybody over at the malice-corp.com channel, unless she got something.
Wow, way to steal my thunder. No, that's exactly what I was going to say. Thanks.
Okay.
Yes, everybody go check out www.malice-corp.com. Eventually I'll get something.
Masonic Vader, where can people follow you?
You can follow me, Masonic Vader 71 on PlayStation Network, and Masonic Vader on Twitter.
Awesome. Nick, where can people follow you outside this cast?
Raider0314 on Twitter and PlayStation Network.
And Super Hoovian Freak, where can people come to tell you their opinion about Jensen Ackles, or that your opinion is wrong?
Well, you can do that on Twitter mostly at Super Hoovian Nut. Instagram, it's a little bit harder, but that is Super Hoovian Freak. But I'm serious. If you're going to come, because I've been dealing with little teeny bopper wink all week, I will take you down. So bring it. Let's go.
And if you want to follow this podcast, malice-corp.com. Join us on Twitch live, 8 p.m. or 11 p.m. Eastern on Friday. And Twitter, at Malice Corp. You can check me out on Instagram at Mess5150 or on Twitter at Mess_Malice Corp. And then come join us and have fun with us on Facebook at facebook.com/groups/all things nerd podcast. Thank you guys for joining us. You guys keep nerding on. We will see you next Friday. Peace out.
Snarf.